place of influence in a wrong way and a wrong motive if your heart is not to serve the other members of the body, to serve the lost out there. And the whole example, see, but they had this idea, and we have it. We struggle with this. We get big heads, and we think everything's got to be about a position or a title or a paycheck. When really everything in the kingdom is about serving, loving. Listen to what he says. She said, we want to sit on your right hand, on your left hand of the kingdom. This is these. You talk about a couple of mama's boys, and mama's coming to promote her kids. But Jesus answered and said, you do not know what you ask. Are you able to drink the cup I'm about to drink? To be baptized with the baptism I'm about to be baptized with? Don't you understand that serving in the kingdom means death? Don't you understand it means the cross? Don't you understand that it means all your selfish ambitions and every idea what you thought about yourself that was just so grandiose and great and mighty? It means you've got to lay it at the foot of the cross and become a slave of all. Servant to people. And through that service you'll become great. She didn't get it. Some of us were still getting it. I'm still getting it. They said to him, we're able to do it. It's called self-promotion. Some people, you have opportunities to serve all around you every day, and you miss them because you want to do something else. You don't feel like serving. You don't feel like helping. You want to do something that you think you're supposed to do. You just missed your opportunity for promotion.
Yeah, that's right.
We're able. So Jesus said to them, you will indeed drink my cup and be baptized with the baptism I'm baptized with. In the time, you're going to find the cross. But to sit on my right hand and on my left is not mine to give. It's for those for whom the Father has prepared it. And when the 10 heard it, they were greatly displeased with the 2 brothers. Imagine what you'd feel like. But Jesus called them to himself and said, you know that the rulers of the Gentiles lord over them, and those who are great exercise authority over them, yet it shall not be so among you. He was telling them the protocol of the kingdom. He was telling them how we're to treat each other in the body. He said, whoever desires to become great among you, let him be your servant. Whoever desires to be first among you, let him become your slave. Just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life a ransom for many. Go to John chapter 13. I'm going to expedite time here. The greatest leader of all time became the greatest servant of all time. The greatest lover of people that ever lived became a servant and demonstrated his love through his service. The greatest Lord of all, the only King of Kings and the only Lord of Lords. I mean, you talk about worthy of praise like we're giving him tonight. He's worthy of it. He humbled himself to the lowest position. When we get a hold of this, friends, in our hearts, God is going to begin to use us. Because it's when he gets us to that place of understanding that he's Lord. He knows where you belong. He knows who needs something from heaven. But when you have a heart to serve, and the carnality and the immaturity and the stuff that we wrestle with of promoting ourselves or having wrong misconceptions about what the kingdom's all about, when we get all that out of the way, we just say, I'm here to serve the head, to let Jesus be Lord over my life. And I'll do anything. I'll vacuum the floors. I'll clean the toilets. I will find a place that needs service, and I'll do whatever you want me to do, Lord. When you get that heart, then you're getting in a place where God can begin to use you. But until then, you're in waiting. I see it in the church all the time. We have people, we get the idea we want to preach, or we want to be promoted, or we want a great ministry, we want to be seen, we want to be visible. I play an instrument, let me play my instrument. I sing, let me sing. I've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. I've got gifts, we all have them. Gifts are second. Character's first. Servanthood, the heart, the attitude, that's what God's looking at. That's what he's desiring. And he's getting you ready. And you even being here tonight is proof that God has called you for this. He's called you to have a heart and a passion for Northeast Missouri. And it's his work to come into your heart and show you himself. John chapter 13, before the feast of the Passover, verse 1, when Jesus knew his hour had come, he would depart from this world to the Father. Having loved those, his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. And supper being ended, the devil put into the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him. Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hand, that he had come from God, that he was going to God, he rose from supper, and he shocked everybody in the room by laying aside his garments, taking a towel, putting it around his waist. And after that, he began to pour water into a basin and wash the disciples' feet and wipe them with the towel with which he was girded. Friends, I'm telling you, if you read this, you can't help but this move you. You talk about the great leap from the highest of high to the lowest of low. You talk about dirty feet walking around Capernaum and with sandals, open-toed sandals, and dirt and grime. It was the lowest job of all. And for some reason, they forgot to hire a servant to do that job. And Jesus saw it. He saw that need.
Oh, wow.
He saw it there. And he wasn't too big to do it. He's the biggest one of all. But he wasn't too big to get down.
That's good.
Are you getting it? Because you're going to see a need. God's going to allow a need to come before you, and he's going to give you a test to see where you're at. And it shows whether or not you're going to wait longer. I mean, you can prolong the waiting room with God. And he just keeps on working on you and working on you. Or you can get it. It can click. Oh, hallelujah. That it's all about being a servant. If we're to be like Jesus, we're to be like a servant. And you see that need and you get down. And whether it's, listen, dirty, horrible job, but he did it. He washed their feet. And they were all shocked at it. And as he began to do it, Peter